ZNS Northern Service preparing for a big reveal this Friday. The Deputy Prime Minister talks patriotism, and a young man arraigned for the murder of his mother.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rofarkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Well, it's a big week for ZNS Northern Service as the corporation goes digital. After years of anticipation, a contract in the amount of $500,000 was signed back in December, and this coming Friday, the ZNS Northern Service will roll out its new HD TV. The nation's leader is expected to participate in the official launch. A promise made and a promise kept. As for the first time since its inception, ZNS North will transition from analog to high definition. The idea of the Grand Bahamas station becoming digital has been in the making for many years, but Deputy General Manager Darren Meadows says it is finally becoming a reality.
Probably more than a decade ago, this was on the table, and we made plans. We were about to knock down walls and to get this process started, but it never happened. And so once this administration, led by Mr. Smith and the board, came in, they made a promise that they wanted to focus on Freeport and get us up to speed and so we could make a contribution.
He shares what this means for the Northern Service.
This upgrade to television is everything. It takes us to a whole new level in terms of the way we look, our presentation, what we can do.
And while he says the transition comes at a great cost, it is one that is of great benefit to the employees and to the viewing audience.
Well, the investment for the digital upgrade is north of $500,000. And so it's not only a financial investment, but it's also an investment in the employees because training came along with it. And like I said before, it's all about the employees being able to reach their full potential now and get in the game in terms of digitalization.
The DGM adds that the 6 months process of revolutionizing the local station was not an easy one.
We had to tear apart the studio and the control room and use a makeshift studio. I just want to thank the staff for being so gracious in terms of understanding that the conditions they had to work in for the couple of months that we had to do that was just a part of where we were trying to go.
But he says it will all lead up to an exciting moment this coming Friday.
We expect on Friday the 26th to have a wonderful ceremony with the Prime Minister himself coming down to push the proverbial button to take us from analog into digital. And so everyone is geared up. We can't wait. We can't wait to showcase what it is we have to the public, and so I just want to encourage the public to tune in to the Northern Edition at 6:30 nightly.
An update now on Oban Energies. You may remember last year it was announced that the heads of agreement between the government and Oban Energies would be amended. Well, this coming after the government received a lot of criticism for the multi-million-dollar deal. It was also announced that the Cabinet Subcommittee and Technical Advisory Group were in the process of examining the deal to make it more acceptable for residents in that community. In a recent interview, Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, says that there is still no official date as to when the committee will be done with their reviews.
The Oban project is still before the committee. They have not reported to the Cabinet yet on their findings, and I do expect that will be coming along relatively soon, and so hopefully we'll get some resolution one way or the other very shortly. There were a number of requests that we had, or I should say the committee had, based upon the guidance from Cabinet, and they've been negotiating those items.
Now to news from the court, where a young man was formally charged before the court today with killing his mother. Talia Hall has the details.
26-year-old Tanika Wayne Doncom of number 118 Channel Lodge Apartments, Kings Road, was arraigned before Magistrate Charlton Smith in Magistrate Court Number 2 and charged with murder. He's accused of killing his mother, 52-year-old Udell Izona Bevins of Channel Lodge Apartments, Kings Road in Lucaya. Her body was found stuffed in the trunk of a car outside a business establishment located on East Beach Drive on Wednesday, July 17th. According to police, someone called a towing company to come and collect the car in an area off Queens Highway around 6 a.m. on the same date, and the woman's body was discovered once the employees of that towing company checked the vehicle. Police also confirmed that there were multiple lacerations about Bevan's body. Now her son was arrested by police shortly after the incidents unfolded. Duncombe was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services and is to be evaluated at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center until trial on September 16, 2019. The matter will proceed by voluntary bill of indictment. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, over on the island of Abaco, an adult male is assisting police with their investigations into the fatal shooting of a 25-year-old man. Reports say shortly after 1 p.m. on Friday, police were alerted of gunshots fired in the area of the Mud, and when officers arrived in the area, they met the victim lying on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds to the body. He was taken to the clinic in Marsh Harbor, but he succumbed to his injuries. The suspect was arrested shortly before 10 a.m. on Saturday. Police say investigations into this matter are continuing. In other news, this year's Independence festivities have been described as the best in recent time, with several ecumenical services, the unveiling of the Wall of Fame in the South, to a grand cultural extravaganza. Many have applauded the committee for a great display of Bahamian culture. But despite the grand celebration, some believe additional efforts must be made to get more Bahamians involved. Tonight, Italia Hall talks post-independence and patriotism with the Deputy Prime Minister.
With independence celebrations winding down across the country, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, says he is happy to have had the opportunity to attend both celebrations in Grand Bahama and in New Providence, adding that overall he was extremely pleased with the organization of both events.
I've been very impressed with the independence celebrations, both here and in New Providence. I had the opportunity this year, because of the different dates, to attend both. And I'm very grateful for the committees for allowing that to happen, because again, a lot of us, because we're out on Independence Park doing the national celebration, we don't get an opportunity to see the performance and the events there. I want to commend Senator Jasmine Darius and her team. They put on a tremendous display here. I had all of my New Providence colleagues envious of the celebrations here and the way that the kids in particular participated.
He says he felt a high level of pride, and going forward, he would like to see Bahamians put politics aside during national events like Independence.
I think sometimes, it's unfortunate that people read into things that may not necessarily be the intent. We're all human, and so sometimes we are misunderstood. But I can tell you, for us, particularly around this time, and I've said this in all of my public utterances, that this is a time for us to unite as Bahamians, to focus on the positives about our country and our island.
In 1992, the One Bahamas campaign was launched by Youth and Sports Minister Algernon Allen with the goal of generating a greater sense of identity, pride, and community among Bahamian youth. The Deputy Prime Minister says he hopes to see that initiative come alive again, especially under the leadership of the country's Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable C.A. Smith.
He has stated in his initial address that he is going to be intent and intentional about bringing together our people united as one. And of course, the One Bahamas movement was founded out of that need for us to call us back together as a people with one vision and one focus, and that is the development of these islands for the benefit of the people. And so I think you will see that coming forward again as we move into the years to come.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now, a Wall of Fame unveiling ceremony was held in the Williams and Russelltown community for honorees Antoinette Ann Russell, Charles Russell, Leonard Williams, and Leslie Woodside were recognized from the community for their contributions to nation building over the past 46 years. Administrator Christian Palacios says their efforts will always be appreciated for many reasons.
Even though we have local government now who's responsible for these communities, before local government we had persons like the ones that we honored here today who struggles helped to build these communities that we enjoy today. I honestly feel as though these persons have a lot to contribute, not only by work but also their experiences and their history of how they build these communities. So I think for upcoming leaders, it's good to talk to these persons, get to know their history from whence these communities came.
Now, these residents say it was important for them to come and support the honorees.
As they set a good example for us in the past, and so I feel it was quite fitting and timely, that something be done and it carry on.
I think it's good because a lot of people get honored when they're dead. You give them flowers, and this is a good gesture for the persons in this area.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news on the other side of the break.